Oklahoma City, catching up with Brian Brinkley. Brian, I hope you were able to stay safe during the weather. I know that everybody's dealing with it in one way or another. We were talking during the break about your travels. You spent some time in another SEC city there in Auburn. How did the plains compare to what you're used to there in Norman and in Stillwater?
Well, it's definitely further south, so it was only raining, which was good.
Yeah.
Because we got hammered by snow here in Oklahoma, as everybody knows. So it was actually pretty pleasant weather the day before. Then Sunday, most of the day it rained. Sunday, which all day really, but thankfully they play basketball indoors. So
Yeah. Absolutely. Let's dive into some basketball here. This Oklahoma team has been it's a little weird because in the non-conference they looked really strong at home. They've kind of stumbled a little bit here in the conference part of the schedule early on, and then it's just an absolutely crushing loss on Saturday there in overtime. What'd you make of that loss there to Missouri, and just the way that everything laid out and played out on the way to that game?
to say OU is snake bit is probably an understatement.
It's true.
I told Holden, my coworker, I don't think I've ever seen that happen, to have a team have their opponent hit a buzzer beater in regulation to force overtime and then overtime also on a buzzer beater.
Right.
That's the killer. And I heard Porter's explanation of why they didn't foul at the end of regulation. I get it. I still think you got to try to foul as long as it's in the backcourt. And I think that came back to bite them. Now, the overtime buzzer beater, there's not much you can do about that other than try to keep the guy from dribbling up to the line to shoot it. But I mean, they did a lot of good things in that game, but they just could not finish it off, and they haven't been able to finish off these close games. And you've got to learn how to finish them off, or you can start to win them, and they just can't seem to do it.
Absolutely. You teed that up perfectly. Let's hear from Coach Moser on the end-of-game situation.
Yeah, I was disheartened for my guys, to how you respond in life when things aren't going your way. We're on a losing streak. I mean, their attitudes, their togetherness, their willingness to follow a game plan, the hearts that they gave. So my reaction is I feel for my guys. What's been going on in college basketball right now, it's changed my philosophy whether you follow up three. With that new rule, if you have contact, the continuation. I've watched it over and over. So we decided not to foul. And we just kind of, we were putting our big on the inbounder, and we were supposed to go stay with Pierce, and we just kind of ran at the ball. And Pierce still had to hit it. With fouling, they were pounding us on the glass so much. So it also gives you a chance, or if you foul there. But with watching what's going on with college basketball with that new rule, it's changed my philosophy. And it backfired it backfired, but it went against us. But he still had to hit a running full court stop and hit a big three. But that was our thought process, is we weren't going to foul, and we were, to give them that three plus the rebounds, the way the offense rebound off a free throw.
So a lot of people say that games don't necessarily come down to a play at the end of the game, or in this instance, two at the end of the game. But it just seems like Oklahoma can't find a way to win a game right now. And a lot of people could say that they should have won that Missouri game. But what do you think is going wrong right now? Is it a perfect storm of events, or is it one main event that's kind of dragging the rest down?
Oh, it's probably a lot of things. I think one of Oklahoma's problems is they don't have a go-to guy. They don't have a guy to go to and rely on. We need a basket. We're going to our go-to guy.
Right.
Nigel Pack has been really inconsistent, which is not what I expected out of him, being a six-year guy. And they just haven't they've had multiple guys step up at various times during the season, but nobody who's there all the time. And then I think Porter has not been happy with the way they play defense, so he's put a lot of guys on the bench for extended periods because they're not playing the defense that he wants to see out of them.
Absolutely. It's a 6-game losing streak now. Is Porter Moser, is he in trouble at all, do you think? What's the temperature like over there, given the fact that, it is now a continuation? I know it's still kind of early in the schedule, played 7 games in the SEC, still have a nice runway left. But what's the temperature over there with the head coach?
It's starting to heat up, I think, a little bit. I mean, this has become not just this season a trend where they're losing these close games. It's been happening for a while. Yeah. I don't know what the numbers are for Porter, but in close games, it's not good, especially in the SEC.
Mm.
And Sooner fans are kind of getting tired of it, I think. Now, we're also in a transitional period with the athletic director. He's going to officially introduce Roger Denny on Wednesday. So how that gets handled with the transition from Joe C to Denny, it's hard to say.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't see the rationale in firing during the season. I don't see what good that accomplishes. So in that sense, he's got, a month and a week or so to try to get things back on track. But the schedule doesn't get any easier, as we all know, in the SEC. So it's not going to be easy.